Hello, Brigadiers and Brigadettes and hockey fans alike. This is your captain speaking. Welcome to my channel. Now let's jump into some hockey content. Hello everybody, happy Saturday. We're going to be talking about something that'll probably be controversial, probably get me some thumbs down, maybe even some unsubscriptions. But we're going to be talking about one thing I hate about each NHL team. And before we do that, thank you so much. We are close to 200 subscribers. Let's get there. So I have the faith. Now, to start off, we're going to be jumping right on in. And we have the Anaheim Ducks. And one thing I could never stand about the Ducks was Corey Perry when he played for the Ducks. He's the type of guy I would love to have on my team if I could have him. But when I was younger and he was on the Ducks, I could not stand Corey Perry. Next up, we have the Arizona Coyotes. This is, some of these aren't even going to be insults or things you hate that are awful. These could almost be compliments. One thing that I hate is that they use their old logo, the Kachina with the old center ice logo a lot. And I just want you to go out there and say, hey, we're going to start using it more often. I like the logo. I just would rather have them, say, hey, going forward, we're just going to do it like this and go with that. And I understand there might be some licensing things, but they could say oh, in this season we're going to start doing this. Now we have the Boston Bruins. Oh, there's a lot I could talk about with the Bruins, but we're going to talk about Brad Marchand. He's the big thing here. I never really liked him, but the incident, licking a sweaty man, where it's just disgusting. And there's a boundary in sports, and to lick another player on an opposing team just seems way too far out there. So that was the final straw with me. I was ugh. Now we have the Buffalo Sabers. This one, it was kind of hard because I really don't have anything against the Sabers, but I'd probably say them just wasting Jack Eichel's prime career years. I remember Eichel getting drafted. He was supposed to be the savior of Buffalo, and he's done his part, but the team obviously has not made the playoffs, I believe, his whole time in his career there. So it stinks. Now we have the Calgary Flames. With me liking the Canucks, there is a lot of reasons I don't like the Flames. We'll just go with currently. Matthew Tkachuk, I don't like him, but again, he's kind of like a Corey Perry-esque player, where if he was on my team, I know I'd love him, but he's not, and so I hate him. But regardless, you gotta love the heart. I know he's a, some would say cheap player, but he definitely supports his teammates. Now we have the Carolina Hurricanes. This one was, again, not one that was too brutal. I just hate that you didn't beat the Bruins in the conference finals in 2019 after they beat us, the Blue Jackets. I was sure they were going to win the cup after that, and so it was just wow, Boston's really just going to take it all. I wanted an underdog like Carolina to beat them, and all I have to say for that is thank you, St. Louis. Now we have the Chicago Blackhawks. All I'm going to say is, for a while, they were just the thorn in Vancouver's side, and obviously they're not a juggernaut by any means now, but at one point they were the dragon we couldn't slay. Now we have the Colorado Avalanche here, and this one is, again, not anything crazy. I hated the Bigfoot logo. We might put it up here instead of the Colorado logo just to give you some emphasis here, but it's weird, and I'm not a feet guy. I don't know really many people are. I say that though, but there's a dude in high school that would beg girls for feet photos, but anyway, that's regardless. But yeah, the Bigfoot logo, it made me feel uncomfortable, and I'm glad it's gone. I don't know, Colorado fans, tell me if you miss it, maybe. Columbus Blue Jackets. This would take too long to do about everything I hate about the Blue Jackets, but I would say probably just complacency from maybe the organization or the fans. Maybe not so much the organization, but I've talked to a lot of Blue Jackets fans who are oh, we made the playoffs again, so everything's fine. No, it's not how it works. If you want to be a contender, if you want to make some noise, you're not just content making the playoffs and then losing in the first round. So for me, it'd be the complacency aspect of people just, oh, this is a good thing, so we're just going to be here. I don't like that. Now we have the Dallas Stars. I don't have a lot here, but I will say this. When Dallas beat Vegas in the conference finals, when this channel first started up, and then I made my Stanley Cup final prediction where Tampa would win, there were probably 2 or 3 crazy Stars fans that were just oh, keep sleeping on us, and some other stuff I can't say on here, but I was just holy cow, calm down. I didn't say it was going to be a blowout. I said, Tampa and I think 6, and that's what happened. Now we have the Detroit Red Wings. I hate that they didn't name Little Caesars Arena Gordie Howe Arena. That would have been a fitting tribute for Gordie. He provided so much to the game, so much for the Red Wings, and it's honestly sad. It's rough. And the thing is, the Illiches, or whatever their last name is, they own Little Caesars, so it's not like they're going to make money off that. At least I don't know. Maybe they do, but it would have been fitting for Gordie to be Gordie Howe Arena. Now we have the Edmonton Oilers, and for this, it's the same thing, with the Sabers. I hate that Connor McDavid's not on a Stanley Cup contending team, or at least a team that's making the playoffs consistently. And then also, I'm not really a big fan of McDavid just going around scoring a bunch of goals, getting a bunch of assists against the Canucks. I don't like it, and it is what it is, though, I guess. The Florida Panthers, this is nothing. You changed your logo. I want you to change it back. It looked amazing back then. I don't really like this one now. Change it back. I'll be happy. I think, probably most Florida fans would agree with that too. I don't know. Florida fans, tell me if you agree that they should bring back, the jumping panther or whatever you want to call it. Then we have the Los Angeles Kings. The Los Angeles Kings were a team that always got in Vancouver's side. And it was really easy to not like them based just off the way they played. They were a hard forechecking, hard-hitting team that just let you know that they were going to be physical the whole time. And so for a while there, just anytime watching the LA game, I loved watching Kopitar and a lot of their guys, but it was just they did get under your skin. Now we have the Minnesota Wild, and they had that 3-1 comeback against Vancouver in 2003. Not a big deal, but it is something that, it gets brought up a lot where it's, Minnesota did this, and I get it, and it's just kind of one of those things that people bring it up if they find out you're a Canucks fan back. Oh, you remember Minnesota? No, I was 3, okay. Now we have the Montreal Canadiens. Not all fans do this, but one thing that makes my skin crawl is when some Montreal fans will say, we've got the most cups. And that's fine, I do get that, and totally understandable. But at the same time, it has been a long time since you've won a Stanley Cup. It is something to brag about, but sometimes these people, that's all they talk about. And it's not all Montreal fans, but there are a few in the woodworks. Then we have the Nashville Predators. I hate that you did not beat the Penguins in the Stanley Cup Final in 2017. Pekka Rinne could not stop anything in Pittsburgh, and it's just... And that's really all I got to say about that. I'm not too hard on Nashville, but good grief, that was tough. Back-to-back Stanley Cups for Pittsburgh did not make me happy. Now you have the New Jersey Devils. This one's not hard either. I hate the fact that you're not in green and red. That looks better. It gives me a Christmas vibe. I like it a lot more. The red and black, which is weird because black is my favorite color. I wear it a lot on here. I apologize for that. But... the red and green look just looked really, really good, and I wish they brought it back full time. And then the Islanders and the Rangers, we're probably just going to put them together like somewhere here or something like that. But I hate that the Islanders beat Vancouver in the Stanley Cup in 1982, and then I hate that the Rangers beat the Canucks in 1994 for the Stanley Cup. So both New York teams beat Vancouver in, 2 Stanley Cup appearances, so that stinks. Ottawa Senators, this one isn't harsh either. I was pulling for you so hard. I was, literally, I would have probably bought an Ottawa 2017 Eastern Conference Championship hat or t-shirt if you had beaten Pittsburgh. You cannot even believe the heartbreak. I almost felt like a Senators fan for a moment when you lost to Pittsburgh in the Eastern Conference Finals in overtime in Game 7. I was so broken knowing Pittsburgh was going back to the Stanley Cup. It was truly awful. Philadelphia Flyers, this one's not crazy either. Most of these aren't even bad. I hate that you don't have a secondary logo. I think there are some really cool ideas. I've seen some really cool plane concepts, stuff like that, where it's on the shoulder patch, or whatever. There's just a lot of cool ideas. I think it'd be really cool. And then maybe tweak the jerseys a little bit, but I know most Philly fans are going to say no to that. Pittsburgh Penguins, this one's probably the harshest here on the list. There's a lot of reasons I hate the Penguins. The biggest is I don't like Sidney Crosby. And before people get mad, yes, he's an all-time great player. He is amazing. Don't get me wrong. He is one of the most skilled players we've ever seen. Does that mean that I can't hate him? No, that doesn't. I hate him so much. And I'm glad that he's almost retired. Hopefully within the next 5 years because, I don't know. I think one thing that's weird is I'll miss hating him. So in a way, it's like I'll miss him playing because I hate him. So it's kind of a weird thing. Like a double-edged sword. San Jose Sharks, what are we going to talk about? The fact that they didn't beat the Pittsburgh Penguins in 2016. Hated it, rough, did not like that at all. And it was just, the start of back-to-back cups for Pittsburgh. That did not make me happy. St. Louis Blues, this one was really hard. I hate that you're an all-around just amazing team that, is fairly competitive. And you've got some great uniforms just on and off the ice. Seems to be a pretty well-built franchise. So whenever my teams are performing poorly, I'm just like, oh, St. Louis with their continued success. So that one's not too bad. Tampa Bay. The Lightning. I hate you just because it's my job as a Blue Jackets fan to hate you, and I hope... Okay, the mic looks fine. I hit that thing when I moved the computer. But yeah, basically right there, it's just my job as a Blue Jackets fan to hate you. When we were up in Game 5 last year, I was like, it's going to Game 6. Sure enough, Tampa Bay comes back and wins it. And it's the end of hockey season for me as a Blue Jackets fan. Luckily, the Canucks made some noise, so that was nice. Then we have the Toronto Maple Leafs. And this one is just, I hate the small and very, very vocal part of your fan base. It is so toxic. And I get that it's not all Leafs fans. I've actually had some really cool conversations with Leafs fans, so it's not all bad. But that small vocal portion, it is a toxic portion. And that's probably something I don't like about hockey, is like those toxic fans. Vancouver Canucks, wow. Whew. I could write a novel. Same with the Blue Jackets. Probably just did, if I had to pick one, Jim Benning signing big free agent deals, whew. I hate it. I think he shouldn't be allowed to do it. I think somebody else should take over that job and role. But that's just the big thing. Whenever he signs a big free agent deal, I'm just like, what's going to go wrong? Vegas Golden Knights, I just hate how successful you've been since you've started out in the league. Vancouver's not played very well against you. I know that obviously you did in the playoffs because of Thatcher, but for the most part, since you guys have come into the league, Vancouver struggled against you. You're a great team. Nothing against that. It's very true, but it stinks that you come out and you're just contending for a cup right away. Washington Capitals, I could have talked about how back a few years back, I think it was the 2016 playoffs, you beat Columbus when we were up 2-0 in the series. I'm not going to talk about that. One thing that I hate is that Alex Ovechkin only has one cup. Big Ovi fan, even though I don't like the Capitals. And the fact that Crosby has 3 cups and Ovi has 1, really just, I hate it. When he got 1, at least that could silence the people that say Ovi doesn't have any championships. So I just wish that maybe he got 1 more, 2. I would be fine with the Capitals winning 2, or whichever team he went to, as long as it wasn't the Penguins. That way Ovi could be tied with Sid the Kid. And then to wrap up this video, we're going to talk about the Winnipeg Jets. And one thing that I hate for the Jets is that they didn't beat Vegas in the 2018 Western Conference Finals. I wanted them to. Vegas was not a team that I was a massive fan of. Still to this day, not a really big fan of. So I wanted Winnipeg to get there. The fans really did deserve it. They didn't get it, but maybe they can in the future. Who knows? They've still got a talented team. It's kind of going to depend on some things, but I don't know. That is going to be wrapping it up for my video of everything, or only one thing I hate about each NHL team. Please make sure to like it. Again, don't take too much offense to this, because I'm sure you guys have got things you hate about one NHL team. And let me know those things down in the comments below. And then if you're new, please make sure to subscribe, and everybody like this video. It really helps me out, helps us grow. That means we get closer to doing this full time, which would be amazing for both of us. It's a mutual thing. So thank you so much for your time. Have a great day and stay away from COVID, alright? Goodbye, Brigadiers and Brigadettes, and hockey fans in general. This is your captain signing off. Have a great week.